Hey, listen, have I got a story for you? Now, I've told you stories about mobsters, diamond thieves, train robbers, even a war over a bucket. But this ain't about vendetta, this ain't about respect. This is about survival. Jungle, lightning, piranhas, snakes, mosquitoes the size of prosciutto. And in the middle of it all, a 17-year-old girl strapped to a plane seat, falling out of the sky. This is a tale of Juliane Koepcke. It's Christmas Eve 1971. Most of us, we're arguing with Nonna about our third plate of ravioli. But Juliane, she's boarding Lancer Flight 508 with her mum, heading to see her father in the Amazon. It sounds like a relaxing vacation, right? Wrong. Now, Lancer Airlines was like, you know that Kumba who reckons he can fix your electrics with duct tape, no license and no clue, but plenty of confidence? Locals say it stood for late and not safe anywhere. Now, that's not a slogan, that's a warning sign. This airline already lost planes that decade. One crash killed 99 people. The plane, a Lockheed Electra turboprop, a flying tin can. You buckle in and you pray. Inside, it's Christmas vibes. Kids clutching presents, families chatting, and Juliane and her mum side by side. But outside, a thunderstorm building like God's own grudge match. The pilot, he thinks, don't worry, we'll get through it. Like Tony Montana saying, hey, I got this under control. Now the storm slams the plane, lightning outside the window like disco lights at Studio 54. Except nobody's dancing, they're all screaming. Then, bada boom, the bolt smacks the fuselage like Zeus himself saying, Lanza, basta, that's enough. The plane rips apart mid-air, seats, wings, luggage raining down like confetti at an Italian wedding. Juliane hears her mum's voice for the last time, and then she's gone. Juliane still strapped to her seat, free-falling 10,000 feet. Physics, give her a chance. The row acts like a parachute. The canopy of the giant Koepcke tree break her fall. Still, it's like getting punched by the forest. She blacks out. She wakes up on the ground some 18 hours later, collarbone broken, eye swollen shut, deep gash in her arm, one shoe, but she's still alive. She's concussed, dizzy and bleeding. First night she curls under her seat, rain pouring down, bugs biting chunks out of her. The jungle at night, it ain't quiet, it's loud, like an Italian dinner. Frogs croaking, insects buzzing, branches snapping like a horror soundtrack that doesn't shut up. Too weak to move far, she spends the first day and night, mostly days, drifting in and out, enduring pain and terror. When the sun burns through the canopy, Juliane drags herself up and stumbles through the wreckage. She's dizzy, half blind, collarbone screaming, but she's searching for her mother. Instead, she finds bodies, twisted metal, and the smell of fuel. The only food, a bag of sweets. That's her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For water, she scoops handfuls from muddy puddles. Now that's malaria roulette right there. And in the back of her mind, her father's voice. Find a stream, follow it downstream. That seed is planted. Juliane stumbles onto a narrow creek winding through the jungle, and she remembers her parents' golden rule. Follow water. That's her lifeline. She drinks straight out of the stream, muddy, bug-filled. It doesn't matter. That's why she doesn't die of thirst. Barefoot now. One shoe long gone. Every step rips her feet open on thorns and roots. The rainforest isn't letting her through easy. The mosquitoes come in clouds so thick she can barely see. Every inch of her skin is fair game, and she can't swat fast enough. Worse, her arm wound is moving, crawling with maggots. With no knife, no bandage, she grabs a stick and digs at them while choking back the nausea. She's 16 years old, alone, and performing jungle surgery on herself. Her hunger finally kicks in, her stomach twists, but all she's got left is a single piece of candy. Her last meal ticket. She forces it down and keeps walking, barefoot, dizzy, every step shredding her feet more. The jungle, it doesn't care. She stumbles on more wreckage and more bodies. 3 passengers still strapped to their seats, driven headfirst into the dirt. Another lies upside down in a stream, half submerged. Above it all, vultures circling lazily, like extras from The Soprano waiting for the dinner bell. Juliane searches every face, praying for her mum. No luck. She wipes her eyes, steadies herself, and keeps moving downstream. The Amazon turns brutal. Rain lashes down, soaking her broken body. And when the sun punches through the clouds, it cooks her skin raw. She shivers through the night, teeth rattling, collarbone screaming. Every bug in Peru takes a bite. Her arms and legs are patchworks of welts and scratches. Too weak to stumble far, she lets the river do the walking. She clings onto drifting logs, floating downstream like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Except there's no volleyball, no Wilson, just mosquitoes for company. Her eyes are swollen near shut, but the mantra in her head keeps her alive. Follow the water, find people. The jungle soundtrack gets darker. From the canopy, howler monkeys roar. Deep and feral, like lions hiding overhead. In the mud she spots caiman tracks, fresh and heavy. Every splash in the river makes her flinch. Maybe fish, maybe piranhas, maybe worse. Her arm wound stinks of rot, but the maggots keep chewing the dead flesh, saving her even as she gags at the sight. Her body is weak, her mind drifting. She starts seeing huts through the trees, roofs, walls, salvation. But when she stumbles closer, it's nothing. The jungle shadows playing tricks, hallucination. 10 days in, alone, starving, rotting, she clings to the only thing left. Keep moving downstream. Juliane is running on fumes, starving, half blind. Her body, a map of cuts, bites and bruises. Every step feels like her last. Then, through the drone of the jungle, she hears it. A chainsaw. Not thunder, not monkeys, a machine. A human sound. She follows it, dragging her broken frame downstream until the trees open up. And there it is, a logging camp, tin roofs, smoke from a fire, men staring wide-eyed as this barefoot, blood-soaked 16-year-old stumbles out of the green like a ghost that refuses to die. The loggers see her and freeze. A half-dead girl, barefoot, collarbone sticking out, mumbling about a plane crash. They thought she was a jungle ghost, but they take her in. They clean her wounds with gasoline. Burns like hell, but it kills the maggots. They feed her, lay her down, then paddle her for hours in a canoe until they reach civilization, the riverside settlement of Puerto Inca. From there, she's flown to Koepcke, where the hospital finally pulls her back from the edges. And finally, her father, Hans Willem Koepcke, had been told the worst. The plane vanished in the jungle, and there were no survivors. He'd already lost his wife in the crash, and he thought his daughter was gone too. 11 days of grief, of preparing for a funeral that never came. Then the word spreads. A girl has walked out of the rainforest alive. When Juliane arrives in Koepcke, broken but breathing, her father is waiting. The moment he sees her, thin, bloodied, one eye swollen shut, collarbone poking out, he breaks. He thought he'd never hold her again. Now his little girl is in his arms, back from the dead. This is not just survival. This is a Godfather-ending reunion. Tragedy, loss, and then the impossible. Family restored in the last act. Out of 92 people on board, Juliane was the only survivor. Everyone else gone. But Juliana, she didn't quit. After recovering in hospital, she eventually moved to Germany to live with her father's family. She finished school, then studied biology at the University of Kiel. Imagine that, the girl who crawled through the jungle, now dissecting frogs in a lab. In 1987, she earned her doctorate in biology, specializing in bats. Yes, bats. She went from being hunted by the jungle to becoming one of its experts. She returned to Peru to work at the Zoological Research Museum in Germany, while also researching the Amazon rainforest. She dedicated her career to studying ecology and conservation, basically giving back to the jungle that tried to kill her. In 1998, Juliana went back to the crash site with director Werner Herzog, who had almost been on that flight in '71 but missed it. Together they filmed the documentary Wings of Hope. She stood in the same jungle where she fell from the sky, but this time as a scientist, not a stranded teenager. Think about that. Most of us won't even go back to the restaurant where we got food poisoning. She went back to the jungle that couldn't take her life. In 2011, she released her memoirs, When I Fell from the Sky, telling the full story in her own words, from the crash to the jungle to the life she built afterwards. Today she's remembered not just as the girl who survived, but as Dr. Juliane Koepcke, scientist, conservationist, and the proof that the Amazon could break 91 people, but not her. Now listen, falling from the sky, that's a miracle, but walking out of the Amazon, that's legendary. Juliane Koepcke didn't just survive a plane crash. She didn't just walk out of the jungle. She went back and made the jungle her office. One shoe, broken collarbone, 11 days in the Amazon. And today she stands as proof that sometimes the human spirit tells death, "Oh, marafangu." So next time Nonna yells at you for not finishing your pasta, remember, there was a girl who fell out of the sky and walked through hell and came back even stronger. Even the Amazon had to shrug at this one and say, "Oh, mucky cats."